What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is an interesting video because it's actually some negative news on Ledger, and this isn't the first time I've made negative news on Ledger because they actually had a seed phrase optional storage program about, I think, 1 or 2 years ago, which allowed people to pay a fee to have their seed phrase stored. And it broke the internet for hardware wallets because that is not the point of a hardware wallet. No one should ever have your seed phrase anywhere. You are supposed to be the only person to have it stored. So a lot of people jumped ship off Ledger already because why would I want my, that is it's the most secure words in the world, I would say, besides nuclear codes that need to be stored safely. And they were like, yeah, you can pay a fee and we'll just store them for you. So that made people skeptical to wonder maybe Ledger already has access to these on the back end and they just weren't disclosing that. So a lot of people jumped ship. Now Ledger is deciding to phase out, to sunset their Ledger Nano S, which was their biggest hardware wallet since 2016. It was the one that put them on the map. They have made modular upgrades over the years, but it stood the test of time and it had this core principles of the wallet were the same. So let me just share my screen and then we can talk a little bit more about this. I saw this come across my X feed the other day and then I did look into it a little bit more, but people are upset. So the Ledger Nano S transitioned through the year, and what does that mean for the device app developers? Ledger is transitioning away from the Ledger Nano S. As a result, new applications, feature submissions, and app updates on the Nano S will not be accepted, which is absolutely insane. We recommend you begin planning for the transition now to ensure continuity for the users by warning your community that the support of your blockchain on the Nano S is not guaranteed, and encouraging your community to upgrade to another Ledger device and check that they have their 24 seed phrase recovery. Hold on. Ensure their 24-word secret recovery phrase to maintain support. Couldn't read there for a second. Ledger will provide documentation, tools, and support to help you phase out the compatibility smoothly. And as a reminder, you as a developer assume complete responsibility for the functioning of this device app and any potential damage this application may cause to end users. This was just absolutely insane, out of left field. Nobody expected this. And then Ledger tried to cover their ass and say, it is still going to work, and the Ledger Nano S Plus remains fully supported, but they officially retired it in 2022, and they've been gradually phasing out its support ever since. I never saw any news articles that said it was going to be phased out. This brings up a serious, I guess, moral and ethical issue with hardware wallets, because the idea is that you can buy it and have it forever. And there's definitely people that have these. What if there is a compromised blockchain or a compromised version of an update on an app, and then all of a sudden you can't update it because Ledger no longer supports it? That's the kind of stuff that is frightening. And that's why a lot of people are like, what is going on? These should be supported until the end of time, and these companies know what they're getting into. You shouldn't be forcing somebody to upgrade their hardware wallet. That is not something that you do at all. And it got a lot of people upset. A lot of hardware companies responded underneath this. This betrays the ethos of a hardware wallet. Set it and forget it for decades. Zero brand recognition, and makes me never want to own something from them. It's actually crazy how often you need to purchase new shit from them. But then I remember France, and it's just weird. Some people are saying, here, I'll share my screen again. Why is this bad? We see Nano S devices dying left and right. There's just zero reason to stop firmware updates. It's very cheap, and most companies still release basic security updates for older products. My sense is the majority of all their historic revenue is from Nano S sales, so they need to push all those customers to buy new products. Maybe that's also the case, but still, this is just insane. I remember when Ledger had the thing that I mentioned earlier with their storing of seed phrases, I saw a bunch of affiliate sales increase on other hardware wallets because people didn't want to have a wallet that stored their seed phrase. It's just absolutely crazy. Share my screen a little bit more here. There's an article on bitcoin.com talking about it, and people are just upset, and rightfully so. It's actually insane that they are doing this. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think this is right or wrong? I mean, being in the crypto space as long as I have, I've seen it slowly transitioned from these diehard like crypto wizards, which are like you have to do everything with like all this code, to more so traditional finance, and people aren't taking it as serious as it once was. I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel like we're starting to see the people transition to like Web 2 standardized stuff, where they have no problem comparing this to an iPhone and understanding that they have to buy a new one every couple of years. But that's not how this is supposed to work. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? I'm definitely interested to hear. This will be an interesting discussion in the comments. But that's going to do it all for this video. I hope you guys all have a great one. If you guys want to follow me on X, join my Discord server, check out blockchainbay.cc for the best and lowest prices on the market for any sort of crypto devices. Be sure to do that. It'll all be in the description. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great one. Peace out.